Slab leak repair, sewer isolation, the right way to find plumbing leaks. You need to learn the right way to do sewer isolation, and I'm going to show you in this video how I do it. I'm going to show you the steps and processes that I go through. But first, I'm going to say, if you're in plumbing, electrical, HVAC, or roofing, and you like information delivered to you precise and exact, and you get feedback from other people, I would recommend that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell so you're notified every time we come up with a new video, and share this with anybody you think is in the trades that could learn to do something better. So first of all, sewer isolation starts with a sewer water test. Some real estate people call it a hydrostatic test, and that is a bad word, because hydrostatic test means we add pressure to the systems, and that is something a good plumber really does not do. What I'm going to do is teach you, first of all, please call it a sewer water test. That way, people don't freak out. They're not like,
hey, look, if you break anything, you're going to have to get under my house and fix it on your dime.
To be honest, we as plumbers know we can't really damage anything. We're literally just going down, putting a test ball in place, airing up the test ball to create a plug. That way we can put water in it to see if the system does exactly what it's designed to do, hold water. So this is a test that most plumbing systems have to go through before they're ever signed off on, before they ever get a green tag. All we're doing is testing the quality of the system. Will it hold water? That's what the pipe is supposed to do. The sewer pipe under your house and the water pipe, they're both actually supposed to hold water. So that's why we're doing this test. And if you don't know how a sewer water test is done, I've actually got other videos that you can go over to and check. Again, guys, we don't call it a hydrostatic test. We just call it a sewer water test. You need test balls, you need hoses, you need a bicycle pump. You need a good Luminox watch or whatever brand you have. You need the right things to do the job right. Now, some plumbing companies will come out and tell you they're doing a sewer test. They'll actually just run a camera through it and tell you,
hey, we tested your system, it's fine.
well, if there's a crack or a hole that they can't actually get that camera into that piece of pipe, there could be a problem. Now, before I go a whole lot further, remember, stay to the very end, because I'm going to tell you the very best reason you need to learn to do sewer water tests. Okay, so when we come out to do a sewer isolation test, we start at the two-way cleanout. Now, if we get to a house and they don't have one, to be honest, we tell them that they need one. We can run a camera, isolate the sewer main, dig it up, install a two-way cleanout right there. That way we can get a test ball and a hose in the right spot to do everything. So the first thing we do is start at the two-way cleanout. My guys know, we put the test ball right between the two-way cleanout. That way we can fill up on the water side. So what I'm gonna actually do right here is I'm gonna draw a two-way cleanout. And those of y'all that have seen it, it's made with two combinations. Don't make fun of my drawing. So that's what your two-way cleanout looks like. What you do, and I'm gonna go to a different color, you wanna actually put the test ball right there between it. The reason being, you can fill with water on this side, and on the other side, you can actually look down in there to see if any water is leaking past the test ball. Now, we do this for a couple of different reasons. Number one, where you're filling the water up, you want that to be up at slab level if you can get it up that high. You may have to put a metal adapter and an extension in, but what you want to do, you want to try to test the water all the way up to slab level. And if you have a two-way cleanout here, I want to do this so you know this way is the house, and the other way is the sewer. I'm gonna take all this off here, but what I wanted to do is literally show you that with this on here and starting right here, if you put water in on the side of the house, fill it to the top, it should hold for 15 minutes. Now guys, literally, we're not applying any external pressure. Okay, maybe we are. If it's 2 feet deep, it's about 0.28 pounds of pressure. That's not much. Your system should be able to hold that. So all we're doing is literally putting a test ball right there in the two-way cleanout, filling up on this side. Now, this is important for a couple of reasons to have a two-way cleanout. I want to back this up just a little bit. If you've just got a two-way cleanout here, if you come in over on the left side and stick a camera in, it turns it towards the house. And you're going to need that later, because that's where you're actually going to push a test ball and hoses in to different areas to help isolate the system. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. But remember one thing, if you have a leak somewhere down this line, you may end up having to push a test ball back from this way and pull a toilet from the inside and fill from there just to determine where it is. What we like to do is install the two-way cleanout if there's not one already there. If there is, push a test ball both ways and test it. Is it good? Does it hold? We find a lot of breaks or cracks on the risers or right where it goes under the grade beam at the edge of the house. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw a semi plumbing system as I would rough this house in, and then show you things that we would do for isolation. Now this is gonna be a very basic system, but what I'm trying to do is just get it in so that you can see the things that we would do to isolate the system. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is, this is a 2-story house, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw the system that would come over and catch the upstairs. Now, I don't have that exact drawing with me. I'm not sure what wall they used to go up in, but if you look at what all I've got here, now this is something fun that we've really wanted to do that we haven't done yet. I have wanted to do this because I actually used to teach isometrics and drawing. Man, doing stuff like this is right up my alley. I love it. Now, we've caught most of the things that are on the downstairs right now. The rest of it would be upstairs, but this gives me just enough that I can show you what I would do. Okay, so this is the completed drawing. And if you watch me do it, I know, it's kind of funny. Okay, so I've also got the two-way cleanout drawn in the front. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you where I would put test balls to isolate the system. Now we've got test ball hoses that are anywhere from 10 feet to 75 feet, depending on how far we have to push them. So if I was starting off on this house, I would go in the cleanout on the back side, meaning I'm gonna be going in right here. The reason being, I need that test ball to go towards the house. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and push that test ball in and get it to go up to a certain area. But what I'm gonna have to also do, now remember, this is after I've already tested my cleanout here. I can put that test ball in and I can put another one in the side closest to the house and get it back to where it goes on the back side of the cleanout. Now, I'm not gonna be able to put it in the front one because the hose will go where my test ball goes, and that's not gonna let me get a good seal. So if I lose pressure, I may wanna push it in position and double test it just to make sure that nothing's leaking by. Meaning that test ball going back out towards the city main, I may put that in multiple times just so I know that I'm getting a good test. So on this job, I would literally, after I tested my two-way cleanout, I would come in and put the first test ball right where that red X is. The reason being is now I can test the system going over to upstairs all the way back to the two-way cleanout. If I've tested my two-way cleanout out, I know it's good. So if I did that, put a test ball where the X is there on the left side of the two-way cleanout, put another test ball in where it is up on the main, now I can feel that system and see if that holds. If it holds, I'm good. I would go ahead and take the pressure off of my test ball out towards the city main. Hold onto that hose tight because it will try to pull it away. Let the water out. Then I would push a test ball up to the next area. And that's right where that X is. Now I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Now I'm gonna go up a little bit further because I wanna show you one more thing, but I would go through this process again. Once I got that done, I would push a test ball all the way up to this area right here where the third X is. Now, the reason that I want to do that is I actually want to figure out if this branch line going over and upstairs is holding or not. Now, if it leaks, I can assume that I have a leak on that line going over to the upstairs area. At that point, I've got a couple of decisions to make. What I would probably do is leave that test ball there that I have in place where the red X is, come back to the one here at the two-way cleanout, let that water out, that way I let my pressure down, and then I'm gonna do what's called flipping a test ball. I'm gonna take a test ball and push it up the line, and I'm going to use the hose and the test ball that's in place right there where that red X is to help push that test ball up sideways. Now what I wanna do is try to get it right in here, because what that'll do, that'll let me isolate that branch line. Now, once that's done, I have a couple of choices to make. I have a couple of decisions to make. I can try to pull that test ball out over the hose. If I have like a 2-3 and it's a 3-inch line, or a 3-4 and it's a 4-inch line, I can possibly let the air out of that test ball, the furthest one up, and pull it back and get it all the way out of the way. If not, what I can do is try to let all the air out of it, push it as far back as I can, or even let the water go around it and try to test the rest of the system. If the rest of the system holds, I know that my leak is in that horizontal line. Now, flipping a test ball, man, that's a whole nother video, and I'll do that one day soon and show y'all how to do it. But guys, this is the way to get in and isolate. Now, say I put a test ball in that sideline right there, and I still had a leak. Well, now I have an issue because I know I've got a leak somewhere in that line, but I don't know that I can test it because I have a leak there, and I may not be able to isolate that line and get test balls past it. At that point, what I may have to do is push a test ball up to this next area that isolates that toilet back there. The reason being, now I can test this front area and see if it leaks or holds. But if I need to, I can pull that toilet at the far end and test it from there. Because with that test ball in place, that'll at least isolate a section. Guys, what we're trying to do here, we're not starting out looking for the leak. We're looking out for lines that don't leak. Because if we can find those, that literally benefits our customer. And we can tell them, look, these lines are good. Now, I'm not saying you wouldn't replace it depending on what all you had leaking. You always want to try to give your customer options and do what's best for them. So I'll end up making another video on flipping test balls and how to get them into certain areas. But what I want you to think about, this is the big thing right here. Why should you do this? This can be a whole nother revenue stream for you. There's a lot of companies that don't know how to do this or don't know how to do it properly. This is why we teach people how to do it. It's phenomenal. And the cool thing about it, if you learn to do this right, you don't waste money. You're not either hiring someone else to come locate your leaks for you. You're not possibly giving them the opportunity to take that work from you. And if you can isolate the leaks right, you're not calling dig crews back. You're not making multiple holes in properties. You're doing things and it's ready to go. So anyway, guys, I hope you learned a lot from this video. If you did, please subscribe and ring the bell and share this with anybody that you know that might need to learn how to do slab leaks and leak detection. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.